Hello students, in the last video we have started history chapter 1, the French Revolution. So let's have a quick recap that in France there was a monarch rule and Louis XVI from Bourbon family was the king of France, and when he became the king he found the empty treasury. There were so many reasons for the same, and French society was divided into three estates, and there was a privilege system for first estate and second estate. The tax burden was only on the third estate, and we have read the subsistence crisis or the food shortage, which was normally faced by the third estate people. And then we have read about the new ideas of freedom and equality, which were put forward by the new emerging social group that was middle class. So now the outbreak of the revolution means revolution start हो गया, लेकिन कैसे start हुआ? Louis XVI had to increase taxes. You have read the reasons of the empty treasury, but he didn't have the power to impose taxes according to his will alone. उसके पास इतनी पावर नहीं थी कि वो अपनी मर्जी से टैक्सेस इम्पोज कर सके. So he called the meeting of Estate General. Estate General was the political body in which the three estates have to send their representative for the approval of the proposal of taxes. Last time this meeting was called in 1614, but now Louis XVI called this meeting on 5th May 1789. For the meeting, first estate sent their 300 representatives, second estate also sent their 300 representatives, and third estate sent their 600 representatives. And for the meeting of these delegates, the big hall of Versailles was prepared, and the sitting arrangement of the hall was like this. That this was the chair for the monarch. On one side there was the sitting arrangement for the first estate. Facing the second estate people, there were the chairs for the second estate people, and for the third estate, there was no sitting arrangement as they have to stand at the back. Among third estate people, only prosperous, educated ones were allowed to enter in the hall. Peasant, women, poor, uneducated, they were denied entry to the assembly. But poor people sent their grievances and demands, which were listed in 40,000 letters, which were brought by the representative of third estate in the assembly. Earlier, the voting principle was, which was conducted by the estate journal, that each estate had one vote. But this time, third estate demanded for the new principle that each member must have one vote, which was based on the democratic principle put forward by the philosophers like Jean-Jacques Rousseau in his book The Social Contract. And when they demanded for the new principle of voting, the king rejected the proposal, and third estate representative walked out of assembly in protest. वो assembly छोड़कर बाहर आ गए. On 20th June 1789, Third Estate assembled in the indoor tennis court of Versailles ground and declared themselves a national assembly. उन्होंने अपने आप को खुद ही national assembly declare कर दिया and swore not to disperse until drafted the French constitution and limit the powers of the monarch. और ये कसम खा ली कि वो तब तक वहाँ से नहीं जाएंगे जब तक वो फ्रांस का कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन नहीं बना लेते, और जिसमें वो मुनार्क की पावर्स को बिल्कुल लिमिट कर देंगे, कम कर देंगे. दिस नेशनल असेंबली वॉज लेड बाय द लीडर्स called Mirabeau, who belonged to noble family but convinced with the ideas that privilege system should not be based on birth but should be based on merit. So he gave so many powerful speeches to the crowd at the grounds of Versailles. And second leader was Abbé Sieyès, who was originally the priest and wrote very influential pamphlets called What is the Third Estate? While the National Assembly was busy in making the French Constitution, the rest of the France was in turmoil. There was a great disturbance in France due to the severe winters. Because severe winters means bad harvest. Bad harvest means again food shortage. Food shortage means again the increase in the prices of bread. Normally this situation was exploited by the bakers. They hoarded supplies. वो इस चीज़ का इंतज़ार करते थे कि कब प्राइसेस इंक्रीज़ हों और वो बाद में सेल करेंगे इन ऑर्डर टू इंक्रीज देयर प्रॉफिट्स. So there were long queues at the shops or outside the shops. After spending long hours, angry women stormed into the bakery shop. जब इतने घंटों इंतजार करने के बाद लोगों को ब्रेड नहीं मिली तो एंग्री वुमेन स्टॉर्म्ड इनटू द बेकरी शॉप, वो जबरदस्ती बेकरी शॉप में घुस गई और उन्होंने तोड़फोड़ शुरू कर दी. When people become out of control, king ordered troop on 14 July to move into the city of Paris. This point you have read in the beginning that 14 July is the beginning date of the French Revolution. जब किंग ने ऑर्डर किया ट्रूप को to move into the city of Paris, but there was a rumor spread that king has ordered to fire upon the citizens. Then agitated crowd destroyed the Bastille, which was the prison. So this was the beginning of the French Revolution. After cities, the protest started in the countryside also. In the villages also, rumors spread that nobility or the landlords hired the band of brigand to destroy the ripened crop. बैंड ऑफ ब्रिगेंड मीन्स द ग्रुप ऑफ रॉबर्स, कि नोबिलिटी ने, लैंडलॉर्ड्स ने रॉबर्स के एक ग्रुप को हायर किया है टू डिस्ट्रॉय द राइपन क्रॉप. जब पीजेंट्स ने ये रूमर सुनी तो डर के मारे उन्होंने भी सारे के सारे जो होज, पिच फॉक्स, जितने भी एग्रीकल्चर इम्प्लीमेंट्स थे वो सारे के सारे टेक ओवर कर लिए एंड दे अटैक्ड दी शेट्यू. Chateau was one kind of castle or the building in which the grain was stored by the nobility. So they attacked on the chateau and looted the hoarded grain and burnt all the documents containing the record of feudal dues. After seeing the revolt of the peasants, nobles fled from the countryside and migrated to the neighboring countries. Facing with the revolt of the peasants as well as the people of the city, king decided to accept the National Assembly and he gave recognition to the National Assembly as well as he accepted the constitution which would limit his powers. When the National Assembly got recognition on the night of 4th August 1789, Assembly passed some laws and the first law they passed was abolished feudal dues. And secondly, they forced the clergy people to give up their privileges, and when they gave up, tithes was also abolished and the land under the church was also confiscated. मीन्स कि जितनी भी लैंड चर्च के अंडर थी वो सारी की सारी नेशनल असेंबली ने और न्यूली फॉर्म गवर्नमेंट ने अपने कब्जे में ले ली. As a result, the newly formed government National Assembly acquired assets worth 2 billion livres and France becomes a constitutional monarchy. Earlier, France was only a monarch country, but now it become a constitutional monarchy. Means अब constitution भी है और monarch भी है. So this topic we will read in detail in the next video.